Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the HeroesCCL pre-show presented by Wisdom. My name's Bahamut, joined by Justing for our final pre-show of HeroesCCL Season 3, and it's going to be all playoffs from that lower bracket final and our grand finals matchup. So we're going to see a lot of the same teams, but a lot of really unique clips, and of course, Justing, as we have our first clip of Wildheart versus Simplicity on Towers of Doom. Can you break down how Simplicity quite literally controlled the entire map?
Yeah, so this was easily one of the most impressive ways a team has won on Towers of Doom. Simplicity is about to capture all three forts for their side, converting all the bell towers to their own, meaning that they're going to get the shots raining in. So Wildheart is desperate to take down the bottom fort here. You have the Sanct come out extremely early from Tremor, immediately a Hanzo arrow to try to stop Wildheart from sieging. Wildheart does get forced back by Mene Poke and Masquerade, so Wildheart decides to go for mid instead, so they've got the quicker rotation there. They're down 18 to 20, and the shots are raining in on their core. You have Zergling really far forward here, just desperate to get the damage onto the fort here. Anduin hits the ultimate to try to protect everybody, but their damage is so slow. And as soon as the members of Simplicity get here, it's really hard for them to siege in. Mason Blaze about to be getting pretty zoned here by the APOC. You have Slug Hunter diving onto the fort, trying to get some damage before he goes down. You have immediately Vala getting just destroyed by Mene. And three members do go down in exchange for this, so while they did manage to get the fort and stop the shots, it was a little bit too late, as soon the altars will spawn, and that will be the end of Wildheart.
Wildheart will fall on Towers of Doom, but we're not done talking about that series just yet. It was a best of 5 in the lower bracket final, and it was do or die for Wildheart in our next clip, as, well, Towers of Doom seemed pivotal for the side of Simplicity. Can you break down how things went on Infernal Shrines between these two teams, Justing?
So this fight was nearly over before it started, it felt like. You have Mene on the Kel'Thas, looking for a combo here, as Mason Blaze on the Sylvanas, their main range DPS is actually mid. You have the Leoric being the focus at the start by Tremor, but immediately a two-man gravity lapse onto the front line by Mene, into the ley line, into the stay wall and listen, but look at Mason Blaze on Sylvanas, he's nowhere to be able to follow up here. As Tremor in the Entomb does go down, you have a big jump from Masquerade onto Weary Day on the support, just getting focused down in the front line, and just completely disjointed team fight coming out from Wildheart, not being ready for this. The portal comes out, but just a little bit too late, and Slug Hunter goes down as well. 3 for 0 so far for Simplicity, and that's enough for them to be able to get the objective bot and end the game.
A 3-1 to Simplicity as they would move into the grand finals matchup up against 30k, but I gotta say, it was all Leoric all weekend. Like, Leoric had so many good entombs throughout the series. It was different players, like Liam as well, had some phenomenal Leoric later on in the best of 7 series. But of course, let's get into that best of 7 series, because with Wildheart falling, Simplicity, we're trying to hat trick for HeroesCCL Season 3, but 30k were the titan to kind of gatekeep everything in this weighted best of 7. And of course, let's jump into Alterac Pass, because this kind of set the tone of the entire series, it felt, Justing.
Yeah, 30k proving that they are in fact the better team on Alterac, as we see the boss pushing in bot lane here with them very close to level 20s. Yasuo gets engaged on, but just hardly is able to jump away with the help of Hasu with the dragon arrow to get him out of there. And 30k is just waiting for level 20s as the boss pushes in bottom. Simplicity is very desperate at this point. They know that if they lose the objective, they lose the game. So they're opting to take a fight down level 20s, 18 to 20. Bad Bunny's fishing around, sharking for something, and they're starting to get pinched on the side of Simplicity. You have Dino just engaging with the silence arrow, and then immediately Bad Bunny dives into the backline to follow up, uses the rewind, and that's an easy Rhaegar kill before Ancestral's even allowed to go down. You have Unaverted popping out of the cocoon, immediately getting hog wild on by Liam, as Masquerade is going to get taken down in the backline by Lucio and Hogger. And you can feign death as long as you want on Rexar, but when you come out of there and you're the only one left, you're not long for this world. 30k gets the 5 for 0 ace, and their base is in shambles.
Simplicity would fall on Alterac Pass, and it really did feel like 30k came out to just shut down that entire series, and it was almost going that way until we got to Sky Temple. It actually was going to be Simplicity who were in the lead on Sky Temple. They had more kills, they had more structures pushed down, but of course, a single misplay in bottom lane turned everything for the side of 30k, right, Justing?
Yeah, 30k displayed exactly how to come back on Sky Temple when you're behind. They know they have to all in with the boss, So they take the boss and they're starting to push with it. You've got a nice engage, but immediately a pull out onto Bad Benny just to bait cooldowns. And then the second the root comes out on unaverted, immediately Bad Benny re-engages with the APOC. It hits the Brightwing 2 as she TPs in, and the Johanna, a 3-man APOC all on top of each other. Legacy just barely gets away. So 2 members down, 30k is going to look to just heal up and stay pushing with this boss. They know that if they don't end here, they probably won't end the game. They will probably lose on the next temple phase, so they have to push with this. They have 5v3 now. Good situation for them. They're all healed up as they start pushing onto the core. Liam's going to get taunted by Masquerade, but get pushed a little bit, helped by the tornadoes. And Masquerade becomes the focus. Legacy and Mene unable to really step up here. They get the combo onto Masquerade. Bad Benny gets extremely low to Mene. He blinks, but just hardly doesn't kill Bad Benny, as Dino is able to run down the Brightwing on the backside. So now they're in a 5 versus 1. They can finally end the game. Mene Li Ming is powerful, but it's not powerful enough to take down the entire roster of 30k on their core.
It almost seemed at the start of that game that Mene was going to be that hard carry that Simplicity was expecting for Sky Temple in these grouped up team fights around the temples, but it just wouldn't come to fruition at the end of that game, as you were mentioning. Albeit, he is a strong mage player, just not strong enough to be able to make that big counterplay up against 30k, who will be able to take that Sky Temple map and move us into our final map of the weekend, because, well, 30k, they wanted revenge on the side of Simplicity for what they did to Wildheart on Infernal Shrines, Justing.
Yeah, this time 30k has the Leoric, so during this whole clip, Leoric is going to be just on the shrine by himself. You have Masquerade going in onto Tyrael. Keep in mind, no one really has ultimates on the side of Simplicity because they used them in the previous fight mid without getting any kills here. So Leoric is just this whole time sitting on the objective, and they realize that for Simplicity that they need to stop Leoric from getting this. But that's extremely hard. He gets even more here. They're about to get the objective, and Simplicity not where they want to be. They're kind of stuck up here in the shrine with their whole team. Legacy goes forward and gets 3-man entombed by Liam. As he's still getting the damage off, you have immediately the support and tank for Simplicity going down on the shrine. You have Tracer trying to dive onto the backline and goes down as well. Everyone's just getting corralled up here in this top shrine, not where Simplicity wants to be. In one final fight, you've got the fake auto attacks coming out from Liam. The auto attack cancels. He's having a good time. 30k vibing, excited, chilling, knowing that this is the team fight that just won them the series.
It would take a little extra time to take down that Diablo with all those Firestorms, but they would, 30k, shut down the entire series in a 4-0 in that weighted best-of-7 grand finals, and 30k will be your Season 3 HeroesCCL champions. Thanks for joining Justing and I for the HeroesCCL pre-show presented by Wisdom. If you think there are any better clips out there, by all means, leave a comment below or add us on Twitter. We encourage you to check out our other social media platforms, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and of course YouTube, for all of your HeroesCCL educational content, memes, and everything in between. Until our future pre-shows, I've been Bahamut, joined by Justing, and we'll see you in the Nexus.